Yeah. Are there any questions? We've done all the problems that you'll see on the in-class last week. Were there any questions? On Friday, for the take-home problems, we did number 7, number 8, and number 3. So if you have any questions on those, we did the problems. One, or I don't know, a couple people emailed asking about 6 and 10 on the take-home, so I wanted to do those first. But if you had any other ones that you had questions on, we should definitely have time. The exam is Friday. So this course, this class is 104. Your exam is this Friday from 2 to 4:30. Shouldn't take more than an hour, but you have 2.5 hours. If you don't want to take it on Friday, if you'd rather take it Monday, you can take it 11 to 4:30. But it's a 2.5 hour exam. Any questions? Any late homework, you can still get turned in. I forget what we put on it. It was one of the attendance problems. You have till December 14th at 11:59 p.m. to turn in any late homework or My Math Labs for full credit. And the take-home portion of the final has 5 points each for 50 points total. Any questions? Okay, number 6. Peggy found a simple interest account that will. Okay, my pencil's not. Peggy found a simple interest account that will take her $500 deposit and make it $102 in interest for 4 years. What is the simple interest rate? So what formula do we use for simple interest? Anyone? I equals PRT. I is the interest, we're making 102. Principal was 500. We're looking for the rate and the time was 4. What's the first thing we do to solve this? Anyone? We're solving for R. What do we do with the? Okay, we could divide by 4. There's different ways you could have done it. But that would get rid of the 4. Now what do we have to do? You're right, we could have multiplied first. 500 times 4 is 2,000. But in either case, then we need to divide. This is the rate. Multiply it by 100 to get the percent. So she'd need a 5.1%. If you did it this way, you still get the same answer. So either way, that's the one thing about algebra. As long as you follow your rules, there's more than one way to solve them. Any questions on that one? Other one. Number 10. Whoops, sorry. Where'd it go? Jim lost in a divorce and needs to put funds into an account now so his wife can withdraw $600 per month for 4 years. He found an interest rate at 3% compounded monthly. That's telling you got payments and compounding. You have to use the finance in the calculator. So we need N. Interest is next. Present value, payments, future value. He needs to put funds into an account now. Now is present value. So that's what we're looking for. She's going to withdraw $600 per month for 4 years. For 4 years, we're looking for present value, how much he needs to put in an account now, so she can get $600 a month, and it's 3% compounded monthly. And 4 times your payments per year is 12. Future value, we don't know. And it didn't say it was annuity due or payments at the beginning, so it's end. Any questions on that? Then we're going to plug this in. To get to it, it's under apps. Finance is highlighted, hit enter. TBM solver, hit enter. And then you plug all your values in. 4 times 12. 3%. We're looking for this one. Payments are 600. And then these were 12. And it is at the end. I'm looking for present value. So the cursor that's blinking, you want to put it over the one you're looking for. And then notice here in green, it says solve. So you have to hit alpha and solve. He needs to put $27,107 into an account. Any questions on that? I didn't say cents, but I did put them. Unless it says differently, you should always round to the nearest cent. Any other questions? Oops. So I did 3, 6, 7, 8, and 10. So I did these ones. Is there any other ones you have questions on? Number 9. In order to purchase a home, a family borrows $60,000 compounded monthly for 30 years. How much were their monthly payments? So start with the first part of the question, the payments. We're looking for payments. And it's monthly and it's compounded monthly. So that's the finance again in your calculator. So NI present value payments, future value payments per year, compounding per year. It doesn't say annuity due, so it's at the end. They're borrowing 60,000. That's how much it costs right now. It's going to cost a lot more at the end because of the interest. So 60,000, when you're talking about borrowing money or a loan, that's your present value. However much it starts out at. We're looking for monthly payments. 11% monthly and monthly payments. If you're having payments, these will always match. 30 years times payments per year. And we don't know future value. Any questions on that part? So go ahead and find the payments, round to the nearest cent and type it in the chat. Is that what everyone's getting? 571 and 39 cents. 30 times 12 is 360, 11%, 60,000 down. We don't have a future value and everything's monthly. 571. They also want total contributions. Pencils are all time. Your contributions are your payments times N. So it's 571.39 times the 30 times 12. So how much did you pay? More than double. Mm-hmm. $205,700.40. The one is a little too high. Check if maybe you have beginning circled.
How do you input on the calculator to get 571.39?
So we go under apps. So move it up a little. Okay. And then finance is highlighted, so you hit enter. TVM solver is highlighted, so you hit enter. And then when you're entering them, you can just hit 30 times 12. And then 11 and enter. 60,000 and enter. This one would be 0 because we don't know it yet. Future value was also 0. And then monthly. So then you go back to where payments are, because that's what we're looking for. And then you want to hit alpha. Oops, where's that? There's the green one. Alpha and enter, because that says solve.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. We'll get to the interest paid. Laura, are you getting this to work out now? I think you might have had it at beginning because it's just a little different. To find the interest, so this is total that you paid for the house. The house was only 60,000, or what you were taking the loan was only 60,000. So if we subtract that, we can buy another house. Okay. Any questions on that one? Oh, I see. So if you find for total contributions, if we looked for that as future value, if we leave the payments that we found, no, it's not even coming up close. Yeah, those ones, sometimes you can use future value, but I don't know. But does everyone see how to get these values? So this one, you use the payments in the calculator. This one, use your payments times 360. And then subtract the cost of the house, whatever your loan was for. This was all interest. Okay. Any questions on that one? Any other ones? Mhm. So the interest paid, you take your total contribution and you subtract the present value, because that's what your loan was for. And whatever's left, that's your interest. So you paid all of this in interest, kind of like a fee, to have a $60,000 loan. So it's just your total contribution minus your present value. Any questions on that? I think that's all I asked on that one. Any questions? Number 2? Okay. The cost for an electric bill can be found with y equals 5.66 plus 0.28x, where y is total cost and x is kilowatt hours. Find and interpret the y intercept. So if we look at this equation, and this is linear, what's the y-intercept? Anyone? $5.66. Looking at this equation, what value does x need to be for the answer to be 5.66? 0. The y-intercept is when x equals 0. And 0 is the kilowatt hours. If no kilowatt hours are used, total cost is $5.66. So even if you use no electricity, you're still going to have a fee of $5.66. What is the slope? Looking at the equation again, what value is the slope? No, since I'm going to try and explain it, I want to write it as a cents because there's not a whole dollar. Remember, it's change in y, and y is our cost, over change in x, and x is the kilowatt hours. And we can place this over 1 to make it a fraction. Each additional kilowatt hour, the cost goes up by 28 cents. Any questions on that part? Find it and find the x-intercept, explain why the value would not be used in this case. So how would we find the x-intercept? Anyone? The y-intercept. Yeah, set the equation equal to 0, because for the y-intercept, x was 0. For the x-intercept, y will be 0. If we were going to solve this, what will we do first? Anyone? Subtract the 5.66. And how do we get rid of the 0.28? Anyone? Yes, divide. Okay, X is kilowatt hours, so we'd probably round to 20, but it should be negative. Now it states, find the x-intercept, explain why the value would not be used in this case. Well, you're not going to use a negative amount of kilowatt hours. And we know the starting amount for the bill is $5.66, so it's never going to cost 0. But you'll never use a negative amount of kilowatt hours, and that's why it doesn't necessarily make sense. Make sure you explain that. Is there any questions on it? Okay, any other ones? Here's what we've done so far. Any questions? I think I've done all these. If you want to give me the answers for the other ones, we'll make sure you have them right. That's number 1. What do you have for r squared for linear? Anyone want to say? No. R squared should always be a value between 0 and 1. Not sure where. This is right. 8076. Maybe we should try that one. For F, what are you getting for Y? Anyone? I rounded 2 decimal places. If I rounded, I'm not sure. Close. I got it. It all depends on how far you rounded, but 70, yes. You use the quadratic. Oh, you're doing it for number 1. For 1 linear, that could be what happened. So is there any questions on number 1? Is everyone getting these answers? So for your linear, you should have this, then all the rest will fall. As long as you have one of them right, as you write the right equation, you'll get the rest. For F, you should have 70 point something. Then you would use your quadratic. Your quadratic should have R squared closest to 1. Any questions on number 1? We did 2, we did 3. Number 4. Okay, number 4 is the electric company owe the piecewise function. Any questions on the piecewise function? It should be discontinuous. Are you getting it discontinuous at 2 spots? Any questions on the limits for those? Okay. That's that it. 5. Oh, number 5. We didn't. Is there any questions on setting up number 5? Five is the one where you want to do revenue, find revenue. And that's price times quantity. I don't know why I'm putting tickets, it was people. I guess tickets for the plane. What value did you find for X for number 5? Anyone? It would be part C. What was your X? Any questions on number 5? Five C. Five D is, what's the price? What price will the tickets cost? So for the price. This was our price and this is our revenue. I mean, our number of tickets. So you would just take this part, 1,200 minus, because it's $1,200 minus $6 for each ticket over 80. This would be our price. Everyone getting $840 per ticket. Any questions on anything? Just making sure I can attend that. Yes. So anybody can come to Friday from 2 to 4:30 or the following Monday. So 1 week from today, between 11 and 4:30. You want to be done at 4:30 though. If you need more time, I'll give you it, but I'd like to have everyone done by 4:30. Since it's online, I can always take my iPad with me and I don't have to stay. Any other questions? Positive. Okay, well, when you're studying, if you have any questions, email or text me. And then I will either see you Friday or Monday, because tomorrow's last day of classes and we don't have class tomorrow. Any other questions? Okay, have a nice day.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.